Alan, if you could share a little with us about why you feel branding for small businesses, social enterprises, and every business actually is important as a business strategy.
I think the amazing thing about individual people who set up a business is themselves decide where they're going to aim their marketing at, who their customers are, and create a uniqueness that reflects them and their business.
Okay.
It may be that their flavor as a person is different to what they require in their small business. I mean, for example, if you were let's say you're starting up as a solicitor, you need to create, even though you might be a jolly fellow or a jolly lady, you need to create a professionalism that looks as if you, and I'm sure the people will, but it looks as if you know what you're talking about and what you're doing. It's got to look sharp, it's got to look relatively traditional but modern without being fashionable. So the image that you create of your business is as unique as the person running the business.
Right. And do you feel that a branding, I mean, when a person brands themselves, how is there a particular strategy that you could share with us as to how a person can brand themselves to leave a long-lasting impression?
I think the habit has been to go to something like clip art of some sort and say, oh yeah, that looks good. I don't think you can do that anymore. I think the days of clip art are gone.
Yeah.
And the main thing is to find a designer, a professional designer who's got the ability to understand what it is you're trying to do, who can create a logo that relates to you and what you're trying to do, but is going to last, let's say, for 3 to 5 years. And then you should be looking at not revamping the whole thing, but just making changes to keep that modern approach, to keep that updating going. And it may be that color is very important to you. Type is certainly essential. You've got to have the right typeface. Comic Sans. Oh, Comic Sans is not a face that you should use unless you're selling ice cream. If you're selling anything else, don't use Comic Sans. Every typographer I know will have a seizure if they see Comic Sans again. We've really got to think about type. We've really got to think whether the logo shape, if it's a long company name and it has to be in one line, then shouldn't we be thinking about a slightly more condensed typeface? If on the other hand we're going to break the name into 3 or 4 lines, then it can be almost any typeface. It might even be an extended widthways. But we've got to think about the application. It's going to have to go on a business card. It's going to have to go perhaps on a lorry. It may be on a TV ad. It may be on a brochure. It's got to go on the dreaded website. But it's got to work the same way on each of those applications. And where I see a lot of mistakes being made is that people only consider the one application. And then when somebody says, I've got this great website, now I need a business card, suddenly there's a problem with converting what's on the website to the business card, or vice versa. They hop off to a printer, the printer does a nice business card, then it needs to be put on the website, and hey, here come the problems.
That means you personally, as the business owner, should have an idea and should know that like you said, there's a website, there's advertising, there's your business card, there's so many avenues, and your branding should be suited to all those avenues, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. It's essential, which is why a professional design for branding is the only starting place for anybody who's serious about running and promoting their business. Go and actually Google, put quotes on this phrase. It's called briefing a designer for a branding. Now, if you put that in quotes, my article will come up, and there are, I don't know, 10 points on there that read this, understand it before you brief the designer you've chosen to do the job, because you will be able to go to him not just with a clue about what you want, but real information that he can use to help you build your brand.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that.
So, next week. Good to talk to you.